Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido and today we're coming here from Castelia City where the Pinchers are going up against the former reigning champions, the Spike Myth Rockets, and they are starting out with their two intimidators, both Mighty Yana and their Terrastal draftee Arbok. So if you are confused and new to this, it's because Arbok will Terrastalize very shortly, but with that said, the Pinchers have never defeated the Rockets, but the Rockets have never won a round one game, and the Pinchers are trying to get themselves into their first victory road, but the Rockets want to get back to that champion's crown. So with that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Will it be the bug types? Will it be the dark types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And as we said, Arbok, that Terrastal draftee, joining Mighty Yana here on the side of the Spike Myth Rockets. It is going to be Venomoth and Araquanid starting out for the Castelia Pinchers, as all four of these Pokemon are making their debut here in Season 3 of the PokeType League VGC, but it is that dual wing beat from Venomoth onto Mighty Yana. It doesn't actually do that much damage though. You've got to remember that double intimidation to start off this match before we could even look at that tail of the tape, as it is the Blood Moon from Arbok onto Venomoth, getting in some great damage there, and Mighty Yana looking to follow up, does go for that very smart strike. It is not going to miss, and it puts Venomoth into knockout range, as Araquanid does go for the pound, also not doing that much damage there to Arbok, as Venomoth goes for the Psybeam, but that is not going to work on these dark types. They are immune to psychic type moves. This allows the psychic terrain to actually be set up as well by Arbok here on the field, knowing there will be no repercussions from psychic type moves now that it has shed that poison typing. But it is the circle throw from Mighty Yana, not enough to take out Venomoth. It is going to send it back to the bench, and being dragged out in its place is Vivillon in that Tundra form, as well as Araquanid is going to go with the Giga Impact, but that is avoided by Arbok, and Vivillon is looking to follow it up though with the Dragon Pulse onto Arbok, getting in some good damage, and it does not have that Intimidate to worry about, as the Cotton Spore here from Arbok onto the bug types. It is going to lower their speed a great deal here, trying to give that speed control to the Spike Myth Rockets, as Mighty Yana is going to go for the Wave Crash, but Araquanid has that water absorbability. However, it is not at full strength, so it's not going to restore any health, as that Zen Headbutt is not going to work from Araquanid. We already mentioned about those psychic type immunities. This allows the Fury Attack from Arbok. However, that's avoided by Vivillon. That could be crucial, as Mighty Yana is going to follow it up with the Venoshock. That does connect there onto Vivillon, who does respond though with the dive. It is going to hide underwater, trying to connect in the coming turns, but first Araquanid is going to go for that Freeze Dry onto Mighty Yana. Gets in some good chip damage there, but Arbok looks to respond with the Smart Strike, and this time it isn't as intelligent because it is not actually going to connect with that underwater Vivillon, as the Pin Missile from Mighty Yana, this multi-hit move onto Araquanid, and get in a little bit of chip damage. If we can get all 5 though, it will add up. However, it can only get 3 here, and this allows the dive from Vivillon to connect onto Mighty Yana for some good damage. Araquanid follows it up with the Hurricane on to Arbok, also getting in some good damage, but Arbok does respond with the Poison Fang onto Araquanid, and Mighty Yana follows it up with the Foul Play there, putting Vivillon into knockout range, as Vivillon is going to go for the conversion. It is going to change its type into a normal type here, hopefully trying to benefit from a ghost type immunity maybe, but the Supercell Slam from Araquanid, not enough to take out Mighty Yana. It does put it into knockout range, as that weirdness disappears from the field. Arbok is going to go with the X Scissor, some more good damage there onto Araquanid, and Mighty Yana follows it up with the Shell Side Arm, putting it into knockout range, but Vivillon is going to go with the Psy Strike, a massive error. They keep going for these psychic type moves that will not work on the Rockets. Araquanid with the Moon Blast though is super effective on that Terrastalized Arbok, and it gets the first elimination of this match, actually putting the Pinchers in front, as it is going to be that adorable Morpeko coming out for the Spike Myth Rockets, going with the Glare here onto Araquanid, not going for that easy elimination. However, it is going to slow it down, may also make it unable to move. Mighty Yana follows it up with the Entrainment, and they're actually going to give that Intimidate ability to Araquanid. Very questionable, because this is going to activate now. It is going to lower the physical attack of both Morpeko and Mightyena here on the field as Vivillon is going to go for the Lunar Dance, and this is normally a very questionable play, but we know that Venomoth is coming back out onto the field and it is in knockout range. It is going to get restored to full strength, and speaking of restoring their strength, that Aqua Ring from Araquanid is going to begin activating as soon as it put that veil of water around itself, and there's more Peko. So adorable. What is going on? That thing is horrifying. Somebody get that some food. As Venomoth does come back out to the field, and that Lunar Dance, that mystical moonlight, immediately restores its health. It was such an easy target, but now it is back to full strength, and it is going for the muddy water here onto more Peko, and it gets the elimination of Mightyena as it lowers that accuracy of that hangry little thing down there in the process that is going to respond with the baby doll eyes, but that is going to be avoided because no one wants to make eye contact with that thing. As Araquanid goes for the Mach Punch, super effective. They're getting some good chip damage and some more health here being restored for Araquanid, trying to get itself out of that knockout range, as finally somebody got more Peko some food, and it looks much happier as it is being joined by Scrafty Vivillon, Venomoth with the Whirlpool though onto Morpeko, trapping it in that watery vortex. But this is going to lead to it chowing down on that berry, that staff berry that is going to greatly boost that special attack. Morpeko is going to go with the charge, will begin charging power here as well as boosting that special defense in the process, but it has to be wary of that watery vortex as Scrafty goes for the Gyro Ball. Does practically nothing there to Araquanid, allowing it to respond by setting up the Stealth Rocks on the side of the Spike Myth Rockets here. That entry hazard now being arranged as there are 2 Pokemon still remaining on the bench for the Rockets. And finally, Araquanid does get itself out of knockout range, but being put into knockout range by the Whirlpool is Morpeko, who is going back into that vicious looking hangry form, and Venomoth is going to go for the Earthquake, putting its own teammate back into knockout range, gets some damage onto Scrafty, but it gets the elimination of that hangry little thing down there that has been eliminated. Scrafty with the Ice Punch in response gets some great damage onto Venomoth there, and Araquanid responds though with the Rapid Spin, getting in some chip damage onto Scrafty, but also boosting its own speed in the process as it continues to have its health restored by that Veil of Water. And now coming out for the Spike Myth Rockets, having those pointed stones dig into it, it is Cacturne making its debut, and it's met with the Hydro Cannon. Not very effective, but still some good damage there from Venomoth. However, Scrafty with the Rock Blast, this multi-hit move does massive damage on the first strike, on the second strike, and it connects with the third one to get the elimination. But not just that, that super effective elimination is going to activate that Moxie ability that Scrafty has. It is going to get a physical attack boost that is base 90. It is looking to go on the offensive as Cacturne follows it up with the Rock Wrecker, and this is going to complete the huge play with that super effective move. Those back-to-back super effective moves, they have leveled the playing field, have the Rockets, as it is Vespiquen coming out for the pinches. It is joined by Masquerain, and they've both got that unnerve ability, making the Rockets too nervous to eat their berries. They won't be able to benefit from whatever random berry they are holding, but it is the Lick doing practically nothing to Scrafty from Masquerain there, allowing Scrafty to respond with the Fickle Beam, getting some chip damage onto Vespiquen there. However, Cacturne does have to recharge. This allows Vespiquen to go with the Accelerate, not doing much at all there to Scrafty, but Masquerain looking to do their part, goes with their own Fickle Beam. Very impressive, but Scrafty does respond with the Mist Ball, going for Masquerain. They're getting in some good damage as well and lowering that special attack in the process. Cacturne is going to follow it up by setting up another Psychic Terrain on the field. Have to wonder what the Spike Myth Rockets are playing at, as the battlefield does get just a little bit weird. Vespiquen is going to go with the Play Rough, and this gets the elimination. Very, very super effective. They're taking Scrafty off the field. And now coming out, it is Shiftry as the last Pokemon for the Spike Myth Rockets. Masquerain is going with the Bullet Punch to meet it as it enters the field, having taken damage from those pointed stones as well. Shiftry does respond with a super effective Drill Peck, doing massive damage there to Vespiquen. However, it is going to begin chowing down on its own berry as well as it restores its health with that Citrus Berry here. Cacturne, though, is going to go with the Glare on to Masquerain. It is going to leave it with that paralysis, slowing it down. Again, may also make it unable to move. However, Vespiquen first is going to go with the Soak, changing Shiftry to a water type, it was quad weak to bug types. I have to wonder what they're thinking there as Shiftry is going to go with the Metal Sound onto Vespiquen as the pinchers are in front by 1. It is a 3-2 advantage. That special defense does get lowered on Vespiquen, and it's the Fire Fang from Cacturne, but Vespiquen hangs on by a thread, allowing it to respond with the Moon Blast, and it's onto the water type Shiftry, so it's not super effective. The Blue Flare though, that is super effective, taking Cacturne out. Does Masquerain, very impressive connection, and it is a 3v1 match, but Shiftry goes with the self-destruct, and it takes itself out, and it takes out the opposing 2 bug types, but there is still 1 Pokemon on the side of the Pinchers, so the Pinchers will get their first ever win over the Rockets, and once again the Rockets cannot get a win in the first round, but maybe they were thinking about the differential because Shiftry was at a 3-1 disadvantage, but here they have only lost by 1, as next round they are actually going up against the reigning champions, the Medali Aethers, whereas the Pinchers will be going up against the Lava Flare. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field, and if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.